So, are you a small business owner? And do you ever feel like you're just trapped? Like you have to pour a ton of money into ads just to get anyone to notice you? Well, you're definitely not alone. In this explainer, we're going to break down how you can build real, sustainable growth for your business without constantly feeding that ad machine. Okay, let's just jump right in with a pretty blunt statement from our source material. It says that if your whole business model is about feeding money into Meta and Google slot machines, you don't actually have a business. What you have is a very expensive hobby. Wow. That's a powerful thought, right? It really gets to the heart of the matter. Are you building something that lasts, or are you just renting customers for a day? Let's talk a little more about that expensive hobby. We're calling it the paid ad trap. And for most small businesses, it feels rigged because, well, it kind of is. It's like this digital arms race where the person with the biggest budget almost always wins. I mean, just how rigged is it? Get this, in competitive fields like legal services or insurance, a single click on a Google ad can cost you more than 50 bucks. Seriously. That's not for a sale, not even for a lead, that's just for one single click. And it's not just those super high-end industries. For a lot of B2B niches, the price for one click on a platform like LinkedIn can easily be over $5. Trying to keep up with that day in and day out, it's just not sustainable for most people. So this brings us to a really fundamental choice every single business owner has to make. When you're all in on paid ads, you are essentially renting your customers. It's a high, recurring cost, and you're completely at the mercy of platforms that can change their rules or prices overnight. The other path, you own your customers. You build a direct relationship, creating a long-term asset that doesn't care if some algorithm gets an update tomorrow. Okay, so if renting customers is a trap, how do we start owning them? Well, it all begins with building what we call your organic foundation. The whole idea here is to stop paying for attention and start earning it by providing real, undeniable value. A huge piece of this puzzle is mastering what's called semantic SEO. Look, forget trying to trick search engines. This is about deeply understanding what your user actually wants. So first you target long-tail keywords. Think something super specific like best waterproof running shoes for flat feet instead of just running shoes. That specificity shows you're talking to a serious buyer. Second, you gotta go deep, not wide. Create the single best, most complete guide on your topic out there. And finally, you have to adopt an audit mindset. If your content isn't the absolute best resource on the internet for that topic, it's just adding to the noise. Your website, it's your #1 salesperson, and it needs to be flawless. There are 3 things that are totally non-negotiable. 1, speed is a feature. If your site doesn't load in under 3 seconds, you've already lost. 2, your value proposition has to be crystal clear within 5 seconds of someone landing on your page. And 3, just remember that simplicity wins. A clean, focused design will almost always convert better than some cluttered, over-designed mess. Okay, so you've built a solid foundation. You've got great content, a super fast website. Now what? How do you get people to see it without a huge ad budget? Well, you leverage the free channels where your potential customers are already hanging out and talking. Now, when you jump into online communities, say on Reddit or in Facebook groups, your main goal has to be building trust, not making a sale. That means you stop just broadcasting links to your site and you start actually solving people's problems. You provide genuinely thoughtful answers, and you become known as the expert who's there to help. Once you've earned that trust, sharing a link to your in-depth guide feels helpful, not like spam. So why does being a helpful expert matter so much? Well, because it's exactly what Google is looking for with its EEAT framework. It sounds complicated, but it's not. It stands for experience. You've actually done the thing you're talking about. Expertise, you know your stuff. Authoritativeness, people see you as a leader in your field. And trustworthiness, people can count on you. This is the new gold standard. A massive part of proving your authority is earning backlinks. Think of them as votes of confidence from other websites. And you don't buy them, you earn them strategically. You can write amazing guest posts for other blogs, or you can try the broken link strategy. This is where you find a dead link on someone's resource page, then you reach out and suggest they replace it with your awesome, relevant content. It's a total win-win. They fix their site, and you get a super valuable link. All right, with that solid foundation in place, it is time to get tactical. Let's open up the low-budget playbook and look at some high-impact strategies you can start using literally today, with your time being the only real investment. If you serve a specific local area, this is basically a gold mine. Your Google Business Profile is your free digital storefront. You need to optimize every single piece of it. Next, you need a review strategy. You have to actively and consistently ask every single happy customer for a review. And finally, start structuring your content online to answer full questions, just like how people actually talk to their smart devices. Of all the tactics we're talking about, this one might be the most important. Seriously, social media algorithms are going to change. Ad costs are always going to go up. But your email list, that is the one and only marketing channel you will ever truly, completely own. It is your most valuable asset, period. Okay, now we get to the really advanced stuff. This is where you stop thinking about marketing as something you do to your business and you start building it directly into your product and your customer experience. This is how you really operationalize growth. So how do you bake marketing right into your product? Well, here are 3 powerful ways. You can build a referral program that offers truly compelling value, not just some weak 10% off coupon. You could create a free tool or a freemium version of your product that attracts users by solving a real problem for them. And you can treat every single customer service interaction as a marketing opportunity. If you over-deliver on support, you will fuel the most powerful growth engine there is, word of mouth. And here's a quick technical tip that can make a huge difference. It's called schema markup. The best way to think about it is like giving a detailed set of price tags for all the content on your website. It tells search engines exactly what each piece of information is, a product, a review, an event, so they can display it in a much more helpful and eye-catching way in the search results. And that often leads to way more clicks. You know, if we had to boil everything we've talked about down to one central idea, this is it. The Sources editor says it perfectly. The future of low-budget growth hacks is this. You must be the single best resource on your particular niche topic. It's not about tricks or shortcuts anymore. It's about being genuinely, undeniably excellent. The entire digital world is shifting right under our feet. We're in the middle of what our source is calling the Great Algorithm Reset. The game is no longer about manipulation. It's about rewarding genuine helpfulness, real-world experience, and true expertise. So your next step isn't to go open your ad dashboard. It's to focus on your customer. The ultimate question for growth has nothing to do with your budget and everything to do with the value you provide. So ask yourself this: what problem are you going to solve today?